everyone, to After Dark. How are you doing tonight, Ted? Because I am excited for tonight's guest.
We are really excited about tonight's guests, plural, and it has been some time in the making. Everybody, Kara has been asking, when are we going to have this guest, one of these guests on for some time? So I'm really excited, and I know our audience is as well, Kara. So thank you, Kara Delane, for all you do. And I understand you had a concern there with the weather and being able to be on tonight's show.
Yeah, so, last week we had a power outage because there was crazy storms. And then today it's about 100 degrees here in South Texas. And my office is right behind our Dodge store. Whole building's AC goes out. So our recon center, my office, all these people in the back really got to sweating today, but we got it fixed. So I'm good. I'm still in the studio and I am cool and ready to go.
I love it. And you know what? They got to maintain those air conditioners more often with those good BG products. Okay. BG Products has that Frigifreeze. And our program tonight is sponsored, everybody, by BG Products, Partners Beyond Products. And we are very grateful to all that they do for our industry. Thank you to BG Products. Kara, I was just actually talking to Peter from BG just within the hour, and excited about the guest that BG is going to have on the upcoming Fixed Ops Roundtable. It's a Fixed Ops director who oversees 47 dealerships from Boston all the way to California. So really excited about that.
Wow. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and again, somebody new to the Fixed Ops Roundtable as well. So, all right, so we have that show coming up, and it's like next week, right?
It is, and I'm sure I'm going to have a hair change for it too.
You think so? Okay.
Yes, it's coming up 17th, 18th, 19th. Fixed Ops Roundtable. May the fort be with you. I'm so excited, guys. If you haven't got your tickets already, you can get your complimentary ticket to our next virtual event happening next week at fixedopsroundtable.com. You see some amazing people on the screen right now that are going to be speaking on the show, including our guest tonight.
That's right. And we are very honored to have with us this evening Ed Roberts and Natasha Fay from Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Good evening.
How are you?
Excellent.
Doing very well, thank you.
I feel like I see you guys on Facebook all the time, but it's great to finally talk, even though it's through Zoom.
Yes, absolutely.
This is the way we communicate nowadays. So.
True.
Yes.
So, Natasha, I got to ask you, what's it like, with, Ed getting all this attention all the time? It seems 24/7, does that ever get old or tell us about that.
No, it doesn't get old. And I apologize for my voice, a little bit hoarse from our recent state championship winnings for Emily. It was, so I apologize about the hoarseness, but I couldn't help but cheer her on and scream for the team. It was a great weekend. But as far as his accolades, they're well-deserved. And he's extremely humble. So I am always there, his biggest supporter in everything that he does. It's wonderful.
And he is very humble, and we do want to congratulate Emily also. And by the way, everybody, we are live tonight with Ed Roberts and Natasha Fay. So I will tell you guys, you do have some fans watching tonight, among them Tully Williams, and he couldn't wait to have you guys come on. So he's been here since the very, very beginning. And Tully, we're so excited to have you here with us as well. Also, we've got Timothy Wilson, Kara, our good friend. And he says the force is strong with
all y'all.
All y'all. Wow.
Yeah, throw some Texas slang in there.
Now, that is a Texas phrase, right?
It sure is.
Jeff Daniel from Kalamazoo, Michigan, is on, the new state champion dad. So congratulations, Dad. Yeah. And to Emily as well. So in fact, talk to us a little bit about that. We've seen a whole lot You guys put a lot of effort and a lot of support into what Emily's doing. Talk to us about that, if you don't mind.
Well, the reality of teamwork, with whether you're at work or whether you're at home or at school, it's all the same. It's everybody working together for a common goal. And these girls put together an amazing season. And we had a run going in 20, and it ended with COVID, so we didn't get to finish. We put together a run last year, and we had some injuries late in the season that caused our season to end. And this was our last chance. So our theme all year long was unfinished business.
Oh.
And Saturday we finished our business. And,
Wow.
Amazing.
and brought it home.
Yes.
Yes, a very, very good way to go out.
Now, I've seen a lot of pictures of her too, and I saw the one from prom the other day. I have a feeling you're probably a protective guy.
Well, I did let her go to prom in a GTR, so I did step out there a little bit. But no, Emily is certainly my why. We have to have a why of why we do things, and Emily is my why, and I support her in everything she does. But she has earned the trust and respect to get that to go along with it. So I give her a lot of latitude, and because she's earned it. And
wow.
She's developing into a great young lady, just like your daughter there, Ted.
And you've got a graduation coming up soon as well, do you not?
Yes.
Her last day of school is Friday, and then graduation to follow after that.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So what day is graduation then?
Graduation is towards the end of the month, October, May 31st.
May 31st.
Okay. Wow. So congratulations on that. And, great. Now, Natasha, you've been in the automotive business yourself, even before you came over to Bozard, right?
Yes, for a few years. I was a commercial truck shop manager for a different company, and I was there for a couple of years until COVID hit, and I was a part of the third round of COVID casualties. So thereafter, I went over to check out Bozard, and it was a great company. The culture is like no other. Many people call it the unicorn of dealerships, which is very true. And I waited a little bit, but they finally had an opening, so I was able to make my way down there.
And you're right. Culture is probably a really important word at the Bozard organization. Talk to us about that. And, what do you think has brought that about? And, how do the people who work there feel about that?
Well, the culture at Bozard, it's hard to explain. It's more of a feeling when you go there. Anybody that comes to the dealership, you just can feel it. Everybody's intentional about what they do there. We truly enjoy being there. It's more of a family atmosphere. Not everybody in the family always gets along, but you figure it out and you find ways to resolve problems. And it's just a really unique environment. It's hard to explain. You almost have to be there, but it is a family-like atmosphere, and everybody is for each other. It's a very intentional culture. So it is one of the better dealerships that are out there, in my opinion.
Wow. Mike Vogel calls you the new power couple. Ed and Natasha, everyone. Wow, the coach is here. That's a pretty big statement, Mike. Wow, I like that.
Well, that is a big statement.
Mike, I think you're right, though. This is the new power couple, right? And so I got to ask you, did you guys know each other before this, or and I know I'm tiptoeing around this here. So.
Spill the beans for everybody.
Yeah, come on, just tell us.
Yeah, we did. No, if you're asking if we was dating beforehand, no, we wasn't. But I'm very familiar with the store that she was at before. It was one of the corporate stores, and they didn't do as good of a job supporting their people. So I was lending a supporting hand a little bit to help coach her with the group that she was running, and just the relationship, the communication was there, and it continued to grow. And then when the opportunity, she wanted the opportunity to be at Bozard prior to COVID hitting, but we don't have a lot of turnover. So we add people with growth, not necessarily with turnover. And that opportunity didn't present itself for quite some time. And then when she got caught up in some of those layoffs, we said, hey, she can fit who we are. Let's find a way to make it happen. And at that time, that was a couple months before we was transitioned into the Lincoln store. So we brought her on to get acclimated with who we are and how we do things, and then plugged her into the Lincoln store there after that.
And the new Lincoln store opened in, if I'm not mistaken, September 2020, Ed?
September of 2020, yes. September 24th to be exact of 2020.
Wow.
Yes.
Holy cow. It's gone so fast.
It goes very fast.
And talk to us about, you mentioned teamwork a little bit earlier on. There's also, Natasha, some special magic around that teamwork that Ed's got going there at the store. How does that work?
Well, again, with the way the culture is, each department works in teams, whether you're in sales, service, technicians, it's all team-based, and it helps support the people that you're with. So as advisors, they have teams of people, and if somebody's out for any reason, it helps the team stay together. It helps the production. It helps people stay effective. And it doesn't matter. Again, our technicians are set up in teams. Our sales have moved towards that as well, working in teams. And it gives the support that you need. You can go into more of the weak links and stronger. So everybody fits together well. They can all help each other out.
And that's what it's all about. Like she said earlier, it's intentional. And you got to complement someone's strengths with someone else's opportunities. Yes. And when those two mesh, then the sky's the limit on what they can accomplish. And it's the same with our team. We're in a small market here, and we have a huge dealership. Same with our high school. We're in a small market, and yet just went out and competed with some of the best in the country. And because we pair each other together intentionally with how they can help each other and support each other, not compete against each other. Because when they're competing against each other, everybody kind of loses in that battle. Yeah. When someone else is mad because they got the sale on I talked to them last week, or that was my customer, or whatever else. And so but it does take some intentionality with getting connected with who they are and finding out what makes them tick and how you can make them grow.
I think Kara may be hearing for the first time about this 2-person team, because I don't think she's heard about that before. Just for our audience and for Kara, Ed, if you don't mind, and Natasha, take us through that, because you are known for that 2-person team there at Bozard.
So 2-person teams is more on the technical side of it. So we have Express Techs that works as a 2-man team, and that's solely done for efficiencies there. And then after they leave Quick Lane and become a group in the shop or wherever else, then it's opposing strengths where they can really feed off of each other. It's twice the brain power diagnosing a vehicle. It's finishing while we're waiting on one vehicle to get approved for the repairs to be sold. Both of them can together finish another vehicle, and one can go get parts for both vehicles. So it just raises the productivity of both of them. And then the rest of the teams is made up of more than 2. It's because everybody's got different strengths. As an advisor, there's so many jobs you have to do as an advisor. We talk about how much they have to multitask. Well, if the team is constructed of one that can handle various different things, and they have different approaches on how they sell things, then we can kind of mold ourselves to fit any customer that comes in front of us. And then with teams competing against each other inside the service office, it creates that competitive atmosphere to where they're kind of chasing each other, because they're not going to outsell each other. They're not going to out CSI each other. But hopefully one of them can generate a little bit more productivity than the other and have a little bit of bragging rights.
Do you ever get 2 paired together that you assume would be good partners, and then you find out a little later that maybe not so much?
Absolutely. That happens. And more times than not, that happens because some people just want to be paired with each other. They're friends, and they want to be paired with each other. And typically when we first reach out, we find that and see something, we see somebody that's good at the same things that we are, and that's who you connect with. Well, that doesn't necessarily make the best team.
Yeah.
But you put them together and let them see that. when they ask for it, because if you don't, then they'll always, it's the what if. I told you we could have done that. So you have to have some of that. And then sometimes we make mistakes too. I mean, if we think that they're strong here, but they may not necessarily be, and it doesn't fit, and you have to make those adjustments. And then sometimes as people progress, their strengths change because certain areas progress beyond what their strengths was before, and you have to move them around again at that point. So it takes involvement, and but it all goes back to the intentionality. It's what are you trying to accomplish and how you're going to do it.
We are live tonight, everybody, with Ed Roberts and Natasha Fay, as Coach Mike Vogel says, the new power couple. And we are live this evening. Natasha, I got to ask you, since Ed has moved over to COO, Chief Operations Officer, do you think he misses fixed ops and the shop, or does he still have, I'm sure he still has his hand in there, but how has that gone? How has that been, to be a part of as well?
Well, fixed ops is his baby. So he will always be a part of that. That's just embedded in him. And some of the other things he had done prior, and he's just more involved now. But he'll never be disconnected from the fixed ops world. That's just who he is at heart. So to watch him grow into another role is always, I just am always in awe of him and everything he does, just as a partner in life, as a father, as someone in business. He's just, in my eyes, he's just an amazing person. And I'm just lucky to be able to sit next to him.
I'll pay her later for saying that. But as you guys know, yes, I'm not going to let go of fixed ops, not only because it's my baby, because I believe what we do here at Bozard can be really instilled in any type of industry or business. But the reason I want to stay as involved is because that's the backbone of our dealership. That's where we lose our customers, and we have to go out and conquest others. Well, if we don't lose them there, then it minimizes the need to go conquest. So yes, we'll always be involved there. Like I said earlier, we're a small market store doing metro store things, and running the top 20 in Ford stores on the sell side, and the #1 RO count volume store for Ford in the country. So we make some things happen.
There's a question that just came in from Kurt Shore. And Kurt, I know, is with an OEM. Good evening, Kurt. And he says, pay plans for 2-man or 2-person teams would be interesting. What do you do? So that's actually a question I've thought as well in the past.
Yeah.
So it's very different. Each area is different because we start in quick lane and then they move to a TDP, tech development program, then they move out in the shop. So in quick lane, our base pay at our store, we went to a base pay in $17 and $15 an hour. Then we recently went to $17 an hour at the start of this year. So there's nobody in the store makes less than $17 an hour. And we don't call it our minimum wage. We call it our professional wage. So in quick lane, all the time is split they still flag hours, but we will pay them the $17 an hour on the clock for the time that they're there, or flat rate if they outrun it. And then outside of that, when they leave quick lane and go to TDP and go to the main shop, it becomes their rate times and splitting the hours with whoever they're working with. And they don't have to be on a 2-man team in the main shop. It's an option. Most of them choose it, some of them don't. But the ones that do have a better work-life balance.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Wow. And I look at this topic that's opened up all this feedback on pay plans for the 2-person teams. Tony Owens here, haven't done 2-man 2-person teams, but can easily see how well it could work in Quick Lube. Got to know more, Ed. So look at that. Wow.
Everybody wants your secret sauce now.
Hey, anytime. We're willing to share anything we do because it helps the dealer body. A stronger dealer body helps us all.
And Jeff Daniel, who I spoke to Jeff this morning, says, what a novel idea, retain customers, guys. Only 16,000 more dealers need to follow what they do at Bozard, and we won't lose people. So, and you're right, that's where we lose the people, is in service.
Exactly. There wouldn't be an aftermarket if we didn't lose people in service.
Wow. Um, you know, Natasha, the shortage on the inventory, on new car inventory, and all that's happening in the market has also affected the parts industry as well. How's that affect? How's that? What's that like? Being in dealership now with maybe not being able to get every part as quick as you want. What's that like to deal with on a regular basis now?
Well, we do have a lot of delays in parts for multiple reasons. But what helps it out is once we get a customer in, if they're still able to drive the vehicle, if it's something trim pieces or if it would be an APIM or something like that, we diagnose the vehicle, order the parts, and we let the customer take the vehicle. And then once those parts come in, they have the option to either come back into the store or we'll bring our mobile trucks out to them, which has been extremely helpful. And not only for us not having an overfill shop, but it also helps the customer not have to continually come back in with the shortage of loaners as well. We can have the mobile truck go out to their home, to their work, wherever it is that they need us to meet them so that we can install the parts that we have that had finally come in. So we're making an opportunity out of this for us. It helps us, but also for the customers. So,
How many of those mobile trucks do you have there?
And we have 5 right now.
5.
So our 5th one just came in last week, and I haven't done a post on that yet. It's Mobile Truck Monday. I should have done one today, but
And how far is your radius for them?
we try to keep it within a 30-mile radius, but that's just to say that there's a number to keep it within because we'll stretch that out as much as needed.
But Kara, that's only part of the story I learned recently, because not only is Ed speaking at the upcoming event as the keynote, he's also leading a mobile panel. And I found out at that panel that number of 5 is going up significantly, Ed. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that now?
It is going to a total of 11. We started out with 2, or we ordered 2. We got 1, and then the other one came in just before COVID hit, the day before COVID shut down the world, and then we've been growing it since. And I ordered my 10th one last year, and then this year we decided that we needed to expand and be able to do tires out infield as well. So we put together a mobile truck that's driven around tires and BEV chargeability.
Wow.
So
Smart.
it's really more of a roadside vehicle, but that will carry us to 11 that we'll have by the end of this year.
Wow. And and your franchises are Ford and Lincoln. A couple questions coming in on that. You got to be leading the nation for Ford and Lincoln dealers, or very close to. I would imagine you're at the top. So
we don't set out to necessarily lead. We set out to take care of our customers, and if it evolves into that, then great. But yes, Ford does look at us as being kind of the benchmark for mobile service, and there's some dealers that do a good job with mobile service as well, not just us. A lot of those focus on fleets, and that helps those fleets keep their vehicles on the road. But we think that mobile can be so much more than just fleets. We'll take care of our customers and doing the special order parts and missed appointments. Something came up in the customer's life where he couldn't come in, and we can go out and take care of them in field. Just the opportunities are endless.
And shout out to Mike, the car guy. Mike works with Veronica, Kara, at Dealer Built. So, Mike, thank you for all you do. Love the customer first mindset. Here we go again, Natasha. Ed has been setting the bar, Ed and his team, setting the bar higher and higher for outstanding customer service, and the success of the dealerships proves it works. Natasha, if someone is on the team working with Ed, are they aware of all of this attention that Bozard gets and that Ed has helped bestow it on the dealership?
I'd say some of them do, but some of them don't. He's like I've said before, he's extremely humble. So it's not something that they talk about often. If you go into his office, you'll see a few articles on the wall, but it's not something that in the dealership we really talk about. Everybody knows that works there, knows that they work for an amazing dealership. It's as you know, technicians go from dealership to dealership, but once they come to Bozard, everybody has a bad day, but their bad day here is not even in comparison to another dealership that they've been at. So they just know that we're at a great place, and he doesn't go around telling everybody that he's on all these panels, but everybody knows that he is a one-of-a-kind person, because he sets the bar high for a lot of people.
Well, one of the things there is we don't run the business by looking in the mirror. We run the business by what's our opportunity in front of us. So we're always looking to get better. And if we're always looking to get better, the accolades come. We don't ask for them. We don't look for them. If we're doing the right things happen. And sometimes when you're trying to do things and you're doing things different, you're going to make some misses, and you can't be afraid to step back and say, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's try something else. And that's our mindset, is we always want to be progressive.
Wow. Great compliment here coming in. Keep being a rock star. Natasha and Ed, if you look forward into 2022, I mean, you've got a really unique position in seeing what's happening with the business. You see a lot of things happening first there at Beaux-Arts. I'm sure that you're not afraid, the dealership is not afraid to take some risks and try things as well. I'm aware of that. Natasha, what advice would you have for your colleagues in automotive retail, in service and parts, looking out this year, and what should they be doing? What should they be aware of?
Well, I think first and foremost that taking care of your customers first, always putting them, their needs ahead of everyone else's. And then also we put our employees first. So making sure that they're taken care of. And once we do that, it kind of overflows into your customer. Your customer will be taken care of if you take care of your employees. So we always make sure everybody in the dealership or a part of the team that I'm on, or any team at Beaux-Arts, that we make sure that they come first, and then that just overfills to our customers. So if you do that, everything else falls into place.
Wow.
Sure.
Kara?
I mean, I don't know. I think if I worked there, I would run around yelling at Ed like, "Hey, superstar."
There are a couple of those.
I knew it. She was holding out.
There's a couple of them, but it's a great place to work, and everybody takes care of everybody else there.
And Natasha, is it hard to get in? Is it hard to be hired by Beaux-Arts?
Is it hard to be hired by Beaux-Arts?
Yeah. Is it a tough place to,
Yeah, there's not a lot of openings there. Once people come in, they stay. There are people that are there for 15, 20, 30 years in positions, because once they're in, they don't want to go anywhere else. They enjoy it. There's a good balance. They give the employees a lot of opportunity to take time off for their family or their own needs. It's once you're there, people don't want to go anywhere else. It is a great place to be.
It's definitely a testament to the dealership then. I mean, and Ed said earlier that, he doesn't hire from turnover. So if you keep the same consistent people there and build that empire, it does give you room to grow. That's encouraging.
Right.
And I'm not the superstar. And when they call me that, I let them know that. They're the ones that gets it done. And the fortunate part is I'm at the point, so I get the credit, but I have to push it back down because they're the ones that make it happen.
But I will say this, Natasha, he does seem to find time for people, when they want to talk to him. He's got an open ear, he won't push people away. He wants to listen to what they have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. He always makes time for both employees and customers. If they need to talk to him, he's always available.
Wow. Any last comments, Ed?
Hey, the opportunities are in front of us. We come in most situations to survive the day, but turn that around a bit and come in with a plan and attack the day. And not always will it happen, but if you come in with the plan to do it, more times than not, it absolutely will. So you're in control.
Wow. Richard Lupo says, I live in St. John's, a neighbor to Ed and Bozard. The rise of the store has been incredible to watch. It was literally just short of a tractor shed not long ago. Congratulations. You know what? I think I do remember, Ed, you saying that when you first got there to now, big difference.
It's huge. It was 44 employees total just under 10 years ago, and today we're 308. So we've had a little bit of growth.
Wow. And how many technicians again? I know you told us in the past.
88.
Wow.
And growing.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Well, Natasha, Ed is coming up on the Fixed Ops Roundtable next week, the big show. And we are very humbled and blessed, Kara, that we're going to have him as a keynote speaker at the event. And Ed is going to be appearing. The show is next, what is it? Next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right, Kara?
Yes, 17th, 18th, and 19th. So if you
So
haven't
Ed is
got your ticket, get them now.
And Ed's going to be, as you said, Natasha, on a number of panels as well. But we've got a really strong lineup. And if I'm going to just show a couple of the folks who are speaking. Scott Simons is going to be here. He is president and managing partner of the Valley dealerships, part of Carter Myers Automotive Group, Liza Borges. Scott is going to be sharing a whole segment on leadership. So we're very excited to have him. First time at the roundtable. Another first timer is this fellow here, Eric Barbosa, who's going to lead a panel on the Women of Henson brand. So I'm looking forward to that. Dawn Griffin is the assistant parts manager, Ed, at Fred Beans Automotive Group, probably running the biggest wholesale operation for Ford Motor Company in this part of the country. So Dawn is going to be here. Larry Dougherty is going to be here from the Victory Automotive Group, running 47 dealerships in fixed operations. Mike Rich from Revolution Parts is going to be here. Anthony Montero from Draver has some great information to share with us. Lori Halter from Charisma Communications is leading a panel with our friend Jeff Daniel up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, with technicians. Looking forward to that. And Scott Gregg is going to take us flying in his airplane and show us the importance of having, Natasha, a checklist and following that checklist every time you go up in the air. And of course, Kara, we are looking forward to this segment here, the showdown of the year, where we got a hold of the legendary John Madden's playbook, and we're going to compare that to Tully Williams' playbook, Ed, and we're going to see who's got the better plays, and we're going to compare those. So look forward to that.
Very cool.
Yep. And Princess Kara will be here also.
I'm glad I'm not wearing the wig right now. It's kind of itchy.
And again, that event is coming up next week. The Carrie said it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Yes. So you can get your complimentary tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com.
Great. And Ed, thank you. You're on so many panels. And Natasha, I gotta tell you this. Although he's on all these panels, there are probably phone calls and emails and texts for him to appear on 5 times as many. Okay, so I say that only the cream of the crop. I'll even approach Ed. You know, about
that is very true.
And Natasha, you know, we got to get you on the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So I think that's next for us.
Yeah, well, you know where to find me.
And you're dealing with the luxury customer there in Lincoln. So
yes,
you know, we talked a little bit offline. You got a lot of information that we want to get a hold of. So
yeah, the luxury experience. So yeah, definitely.
All right, super. Well, thank you both, the new power couple, Ed Roberts and Natasha Fay.
Thank you.
With us tonight.
Yes, it was great hearing from you guys, and so humble. I mean, with that much growth, that much spotlight, it definitely says a lot about both of your characters, that you are so grateful and humble, and definitely I can tell that your dealership is one that everybody wants to be a part of. So congratulations on that. And I can't wait for the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Natasha, you're up next, so get ready.
Thanks, Kara. Thank you guys both for having us on tonight.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, on behalf of Teddings and Ed and Natasha, the power couple, I'm Kara Delane. We'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.